Coming up on this episode of The Bus. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into another episode of The Bus. On this one, we are fixing what Subaru should have already done from factory. So, without further ado, let's get into it. You might be wondering what Subaru didn't do from factory, and that's a good question. So what we're looking at doing in this one is a cylinder 4 cooling mod kit. So essentially what that is, we pull the blanking plug out from cylinder 4 and we are putting an extra hose into the heater line. Keep cylinder 4 cool because it doesn't really have an escape for the coolant. And now we're also looking at doing a new oil pickup. The factory one is a bit subpar and it's known to crack and then it sucks air in. Sure, you can imagine, there goes your engine. Pretty cheap fix, and also because I like to drive my cars hard, is something that's a must if you're going to be cornering hard in a Subaru, and it is a baffle for the Sump. I got everything from Roger Clark Motorsport, and I'm really happy with the presentation of how they put everything in the packaging, although that's not what we're here for. We're here for the performance. So let's see how hard it is to install these. First things first, we got to put the car in the air and then we can get to the factory sump. We then rip all the plastics off as per usual, boring step, and then we can undo the sump and pull it out. This was not that easy. This is probably one of the hardest jobs to do in a Subaru. We actually had to jack the engine up with a trans jack and get it high enough to slip the sump out, and the sump would not unseal from the block. After a fair bit of battle, it finally came out and we had to hoist the engine up a fair bit with that trans jack, but nonetheless, we still got it out. And looking up here, look at that factory baffle. That is doing nothing compared to the new one that we're about to put on. I love all the presentation that they've put into this baffle, even though it's going to be hidden under a sump. Still looks really good. Also put the new oil pickup on and the 3-bond gasket maker that they use in the Subaru factories. Now I have to use the same gasket maker on the sump. I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that are telling me I'm using either too much or not enough gasket maker, but this is my first time even using this product, so I've just done my best. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it all comes together. In this kit, they also give you a brand new factory Subaru sump, so I didn't go for any aftermarket sump. They kind of thought of everything in this kit because obviously to replace a baffle in a sump, you're going to need to drop your oil. So what do you think also came in the kit? A bloody oil filter and a Roger Clark Motorsport one at that, and I think it looks pretty trick. Now, this mod is a little bit on the more difficult side. If you had to do this on your back, I could imagine it would be a bit more painful. You've got to unbolt the engine from the subframe and then jack the engine up. I found it heaps easier on a hoist. Now, moving on to the next mod, the cylinder 4 coolant line. First things first, we have to drop the coolant. Then looking up at the back of the head, we can see that big Allen key blanking plug. We've got to undo that one. Managed to have enough space for a rattle gun up the back, so that came out super easy. Now there is an AN fitting, which also has the thread to tap straight back in the back of the block, and we're going to use Loctite 569 red sealant, and then I'm actually let it set overnight, and I come back the next day. Far out. I actually love the way this car looks. Look at that. Up on the hoist where a Subaru should be, isn't it? That's where it fits in. But we've let the thread sealer rest overnight, and now it should be good. We can actually start to fit the rest of the cylinder 4 cooling hose. We've got this, it's not tight yet, but all we're going to do is quite literally feed him up into the line, keep it straight neutral, no kinks. So literally all I've got to do is cut out of this heater hose, And then just literally put in a T and put these clamps on, and then she'll be ready to rip on super hard. We're just fitting the T in here. He's in now. And then literally all we're doing is just fitting him up into this line here. So I've just got to trim him back to say there. Literally all you want to trim off the heater hose is this amount, because that's all you should need to trim off. And then that's it. And then you just feed it up, and then it's back to burping the coolant and everything else. Hose clamp here, hose clamp there. How's this for a bit of perfection? There's the T. And there's how much I cut out. Look at that, she's all in, perfect. All I've got to do is move the hose clamps. I've tightened up the AN fitting just there, and everything is tight. Thread sealer's been on overnight. Now, let's just put some coolant in it. Hey! Yeah. It's like getting into Hilux. That's all this feels like. Burping her up. She's almost done now, but we have a look in here. I've actually pulled out the ye old snap-on scan tool, and if we can have a look, we've got coolant right there, 85 degrees. So we're actually moving all right. The heater is still not hot coming through, so I know that there's obviously some air bubbles in the heating system. We've got the coolant is up at 87 now. The heater is absolutely blasting out the hot air now. So what I actually had to do, I've got Adam in there, just pinched the hose that I put in from the back of the block, got him to hold the revs so it would run through the heating pipe, and I think that's where our airlock was, and then it just burped out heaps of air out of the funnel. So now we are looking right to just close her all up and get her going. There we go. These are all the things that Subaru should have done from factory. It's very silly that they don't. That baffle is definitely subpar, the factory baffle. It's not all there. And that cylinder 4 cooling mod, it's been a history thing with the EJ25s that the cylinder 4 gets hot. But now that we've done all that, we can do more of this. But if you're interested in seeing more Subaru WRX content and also some more LN106 content, make sure you subscribe and follow along. And we'll also be doing some more stuff on the stolen GQ patrol. So unfortunately, Adam's had a bit of mischief with that one, and we've got to do a bit of serious work on it. So wait for the next one of that. Catch us all in the next one.
We're here on my 2014 Subaru MY50